So in this video, I'm going to share with you the new 100K YouTube business plan for course creators. And I am excited because this is something that we have followed, but there's a twist. And we're going to be doing something a little bit different. And that's why I'm calling it the new 100K YouTube plan. And this is all about building a business around courses, but we're going to be doing it in a little bit of a different way. But I want to walk you through the 6 different steps that we are going to be following, that we have already followed, but there's a little bit of a twist. But this is what has allowed us to get this channel to $100,000, but it's also going to allow us to get to 100,000 more, but also to the 7-figure mark. All right. So with that all being said, let's just jump into it because I've got 6 things that I want to share with you. Starting with number 1 is niche specific or niche or nicho, however you want to say it. I always get a little kickback on that. I say niche, rhymes with niches or riches are in the niches. That's the one I follow. Anyway, number 1, very specific. And this is a huge problem that I see a lot of creators making is where they're not specific enough. It's where they go too broad because they don't want to miss out on some of that overlap. And that's okay. If you want to start there, that's fine. But in order to do what we're talking about and getting to that $100,000 plus, you do have to figure out who is that ideal audience and get as tight as you can and as narrow as you can. All right. So that's the very first thing. The question I would have you ask yourself is, what is the number one problem that you solve? And if you help people play piano, what is the thing that you help them the most with playing piano? Not just I help them play piano. Okay. You have to figure out what is going to identify yourself as the expert for that one specific problem. Okay. So figure that out. And I'm telling you right there, everything else will fall into place. So moving on, number 2, lead magnet, email list building. If you're not doing that, I definitely recommend that you do. That is what has allowed us to get this channel to over $100,000 now. And that a lot has to do with email. And I would start this sooner than later. We've already started. We've been doing this now, I would say, on this channel for about the last 8 months. We built an email list of over 11,000 active email subscribers on top of the 35,000 subscribers we have on this channel at the time of recording this. But it's really, really important that you start to build that email list. And it starts with knowing what your audience struggles with so you can create a free resource that helps them with that problem. So I'm going to give you a real live example of this right now. We know that email list building is extremely important, and we do it ourselves here on YouTube. And we know that people struggle with that. So what we did is we created a free resource. We actually taught this free to a group of coaches, and we basically shared everything, the whole strategy. It's what we call the YouTube Steady Leads Flywheel. And it was about 2 hours. If you would like access to that private group coaching call where we taught that entire strategy, just put leads in the comments. Put leads in the comments and we'll send it to you. And that also is how we build our email list. Do you see that? We basically taught something to a group of coaches, and now we turn that into a free resource because if you're thinking about building an email list and getting leads from YouTube, that's a huge resource. So I would definitely take advantage of it, but also in real time, that's how it works. All right. So leads, and I'll send you access to that. All right. Number 3, video content, multiple angles. What do I mean by that? Well, when you know your exact audience that you're targeting, you have to think to yourself, what are the multiple things that they are dealing with? Now, it doesn't have to be just that specific thing, but it's like if you're teaching someone how to play piano, there's probably going to be things about certain chords, or maybe it's certain finger exercises, or maybe it's 3 things that you see your students making mistakes around and that prevents them being able to play fluently. Like whatever it is, okay? You have to come up with multiple angles that get people to raise their hand that are in your audience, because one person's problem might not be the other person's problem, but the main problem is the same. Hopefully that makes sense. Different angles. So think about how can you come at the problem from multiple different angles that one person might be struggling with or one person might find helpful, but the other one might not have that day. So think about that, multiple different angles. Number 4, post consistently. And I always tell people, start with one video a week if you can. All right. I would commit to one video a week minimum. And while I was doing that video, I would be really getting my system in place, my processes in place. I'd get comfortable with it. And I would want to be consistent. Once I got consistent and I felt like we had that, then we might dial it up to 2. We might dial it up to 3. Okay. So that's what I would do there. But I definitely would say one video a week. And here's the other thing that I would like you to do. I would like you to let me know how often you are posting. So let me know that in the comments. Let me know how many videos you're posting a week. And I'm not talking about shorts. I'm talking about long form videos, anything over 3 minutes, let's call it. Okay. Now, with that being said, I also want you to do this right now for yourself, not for me, for you. I want you to come up with the day that you're going to be posting and the time that you're going to be posting. And I want you to commit to that as if it was a job or if it was schoolwork that you had to have in. And if you didn't hand it in, you get a 0 or you get fired. All right. So make that commitment to yourself, because if you do, you're going to show up and every single week you'll have a video go out like clockwork. And the more swings we get here, I talk in baseball terms a lot because I like baseball, but if you take more swings, you have a greater chance of getting a hit. All right. So definitely commit to being consistent. All right. Number 5, relationship building. This is what we call KLT, know, like, and trust. And this is done in a multitude of ways. What we want to do is, number 1, we want to show up consistently. That's going to build relationship because now you're showing up in someone's feed. Okay. From there, you're going to be maybe in the community post. If you're not posting in that community tab, I strongly suggest you do. It's a gold mine in there. All right. So do that. You can show up in another place, collect those email addresses and email every single week, minimum of once per week. Definitely let people know that you've posted a video. Why not? All right. And from there, once someone does comment or someone does respond to an email, don't delay. Get on that as soon as possible. Let people know that you care. Let people know that you care. All right. That's number 5. And number 6 is offers. In order to make any money, you got to have offers. You got to be able to show people, hey, here's an offer that will help you with your problem. And if this offer isn't yours, find an affiliate offer. If it's a tool, if it's someone else's course, if it's someone else's program, show them that you are not necessarily the expert, but you are the guide. You're the one that says, hey, you've got this problem. Here's the solution. This is going to make it easier for you. This is going to make your life better. Okay. Now, if you do have your own program, I definitely recommend that you start making an offer to those people, not maybe day one, but as you build that relationship. And that, my friends, is how we have been able to get this channel to 6 figures. And we're going to get this to another 6 figures and then beyond. We're going to push this thing to probably 7 figures. All right. So those are the 6 different steps that we are following. That is the new 100K YouTube business plan for course creators. And little reminder here, posting consistency is really key. It really, really is. And if there's one thing that you took away from this, is make sure that you are committing to this, committing to what I just shared with you, especially number 1, get really dialed in, get really, really focused on who it is you're helping, because that changes everything. Now, if you struggle with content and coming up with ideas or just being consistent because you don't have the time, well, you should definitely watch this video. It's our 1-hour content hack. This is where you can take 1 hour and you can create as much as a month's worth of content. Watch that video next, and I'll see you there.